In this video, you will learn the alignment and the basic actions of some basic poses here. The poses I've chosen for this video are the side-facing hip poses. I call them the Warrior II family of poses because they all have some similar principles that you can follow along with. You don't have to learn 4 or 5 different poses. You can learn a principle and a technique and then apply them to all. So, with that in mind, we want to, in all cases, we want to start at the base. We want to start at the ankles and feet, move up to the knees, the hips, the trunk, the shoulders, the neck, and the head. And when we do that, we build that foundation that way. We want to build our postures that way as well, from the ground up. Because it's very helpful to make that alignment and that foundation pretty solid before moving on to something else. And with that being said, we will begin in Tadasana. So the outer edges of your feet are parallel. They don't have to be together, but they do need to be parallel to each other. So you can have your feet a little bit hip width apart, or you can bring them together. I will probably bring them together. I'm going to pull my outer ankles to the inner ankles, outer thighs to the inner thighs, to feel an energetic lift up through the pelvic floor and the abdomen. I want to stack my hips over my heels, my shoulders over my hips, my head high. Roll the shoulders back slightly, and I'm going to turn my palms in. Tadasana. Now that is a quick run through. Let me go back through and refine a couple of things for you. So if you lift the toes, you'll lift the arch as well. And so spread the toes and place them back down on the floor, keeping the arch lifted. Squeeze those thighs in, lift the abdomen. So the front of the body lifts. It's a general principle for all asanas. The front of the body lifts and the back of the body descends. So you want to pull these ribs away from your hips, lift your quads, roll your shoulders back, externally rotate the arms. I'm going to turn them back toward the floor, and then lift the head and pull the shoulders down. Standing tall and firm as a mountain, pressing down with the feet, lifting up through the trunk, and rotating the shoulders back. Tadasana. Okay, the next pose we're going to do is, excuse me. The next pose is Virabhadrasana II. And no matter how you get there, whether you're coming from a flow, whatever it is, we're going to work on getting your feet appropriate distance apart. We want to make sure that the feet are apart. Right now I have my outer edges of my feet parallel. They're about 3 to 4 feet apart. I'm going to turn this right toes out. I'm going to mirror you in most cases. Put the right toes out and the left toes in, and I'm going to come in to bend this knee over my ankle. The reason I want to really think about your feet is if you have your feet too far close together, your knee might go past right here, and it's just not a good idea for alignment, and you might put a little bit more pressure on your knee. I want the feet far enough apart that I can bend my knee over my ankle, stack that knee over the ankle, stack the hips underneath the shoulders over the hips, and extend. Push down with the bottom half, lift with the top half, look over your right hand in this case, and here's Virabhadrasana II. I'm going to stand up, I'm going to turn my left toes out, and then on this side, I'm going to bring a little more refining details to this pose. Right toes, left toes turn out, the right toes turn in. As you press the feet into the floor, lift up through the trunk. The abdomen, again, just like Tadasana, pulls up and the buttocks moves down. When you have this pushing down with the legs, you lift. Now bend this ankle over this knee over the ankle, and you have Virabhadrasana II. I want this thigh to turn out. This thigh to turn out. There's an energetic, circular energy right here in this leg, inner groin to inner knee, outer knee to outer hip. And that outer hip keeps this knee over this ankle to keep it safe. You're going to push down and lift. Sometimes we lean this way. So I'm going to either reach back with my right hand and pull my trunk up, or I can pull these hips over to this left knee, and come in right here. Now I'm going to press with my feet, lift up through the trunk, reach the arms away, and come into Virabhadrasana II. Straighten your leg, turn your toes in, and we'll come up to stand. Now let's go for the next one, Parsvakonasana. That means extended side angle. And we're going to start in Virabhadrasana II, Warrior II. So once again, get that appropriate distance away from your feet, 3 to 4 feet apart. Turn that left leg out. We're going to turn this leg out. We're going to bend the knee just like Virabhadrasana II. Turn that leg out, squeeze the sit bones together, lift. As you push down and lift, maintain that. And we want to keep a long straight side. So reach this left or right arm over this right thigh, and I'm going to reach for a block right here. I want something to push into to lift. I'm going to push this knee into the arm, keep this hip a little bit neutral. Abdomen pulls in, arm reaches over the head, palm down, and I'm going to rotate slightly to the ceiling. Now push into both feet. Extend the trunk and leg up. And you come up. Parsvakonasana. Now when we move to the other side, let me add a couple of refining points. This left toes move out, the right toes move in, just like we did earlier. Inner groin to inner knee as you bend this knee. Outer knee moves back, and you lift. So press the feet, lift the trunk, extend the arms. Now keep the lengthen the other side as you extend this left arm over. Pull this left outer hip back towards your back right foot. Keeping that length in there in the side. The elbow can come down toward this block here. Push the knee into the arm. Keep moving this left outer hip towards your right foot. Lengthen the bottom side of the trunk and extend. Now push into that back foot. Lengthen up through the top hand. Push this arm and this knee into the arm and rotate to the ceiling. Press into your feet to come up. There you go. Turn your toes in. And here we go, come up. There you go. Trikonasana is next, okay? Trikonasana, I'm gonna move my blocks, but don't step on them. Once again, your feet are the same distance apart. There's a little disadvantage of when you don't have your feet close enough to, far enough apart in Trikonasana, and you try to come down to Trikonasana, you're stuck right here. So I want these feet wide, 3 to 4 feet apart. Turn your right toes in, just like the other two poses. Remember those principles of alignment. The feet are the same. This whole left leg turns out. You push your feet into the floor. Extend the trunk. Stack the shoulders over the hips. And now tip. Extend the ribs over the thigh, just like you did in Parsvakonasana. Push into your feet. Push into this hand here and rotate. Legs are straight. Spine is lifted, and you look up. And I'm going to come up. Trikonasana. When we come to the other side, I'm going to add a little bit of refinement here. You want to turn this whole leg out, not just the toes. Turn this whole leg out, and I believe it's a little bit easier to bend this leg first, turn the leg out, and then straighten it. You have an idea of how much that thigh needs to turn out. Push into the feet, lift the quads and extend. And now as you reach this ribs over the thigh, this left sit bone comes to the inside of the right thigh. As you pull this left hip comes underneath the right for an extension of the spine. You can grab your block, put your hand here in front. I'm going to push against the front to help me rotate. Now, push down into the feet, lift the quads. Move the sit bone to lengthen the bottom side, and I'm going to rotate and lift. You want the shoulders stacked, the hips stacked, extend and lengthen. And you come up. There you go. And we'll pull the toes in, and we'll stand up. Okay, nice. Now the next one is still a side-facing hip pose, is Ardha Chandrasana, meaning half moon pose. And it's a balancing pose. And so we're going to use the blocks to help us, okay? I'm going to start off here. Same thing. We're going to start off and actually begin in Trikonasana, okay? Turn those Left toes in, the whole right leg out, whole right leg, and push down and lift. And return to Trikonasana, keeping everything in line, extending up. Lengthening the side body here, hand on your hip. I'm gonna grab this block, bend this right leg, and shoot it out about 1 o'clock. I'm gonna step this back foot halfway forward. This block is gonna come right under my shoulder as I lift and I extend. I'm gonna lift my quads, pull the abdomen in, lift this hip up as high as it'll go, and pause right here in Trikonasana, in Ardha Chandrasana. To come out, you're gonna bend your leg, send it back, come back to Trikonasana, inhale and come up. Nice. Turn your toes in, and we'll come to the other side. Okay, it takes a little bit of work there. You might be breathing hard. Step your feet wide. Once again, you want that distance of your feet to come for Trikonasana. Turn your left toes out, your right toes in. Press into the feet and lift, and return to Trikonasana. Pulling this left hip under your right and reaching. Put your right hand to your hip. Bend this knee, grab your block. Step that back foot halfway, and I'm gonna bring my block about 11 o'clock. Put this, push strongly into your right leg, your left leg as you lift. Okay, here's that circular energy, inner groin to inner knee, but now it extends to your heel. Pull that outer hip forward over your ankle. Extend through this leg as if you're holding up the wall behind you. And then use this block to press down and lift the ribs toward the ceiling. You want this foot right behind you. This right arm going straight to the ceiling, not hanging down. Bend your knee to come out. Send it back to Trikonasana. And come all the way up. Turn your toes in and come together. There you go. Okay, we're going to do one more. The legs are a little bit different, but it's still a side-facing hip pose, and we still have that energetic circular energy in our leg, and the pose is called Vriksasana. Okay, so I'm going to stand with my feet parallel to each other again. I'm going to shift the weight to my left leg and pause. I'm going to pull this outer thigh, just like Tadasana, into the center as I turn my toes out. Lift up to the body, grab hold of this foot. Oops. Grab hold, place it high up into the inner leg of my left leg, and push the two together. Now here's that energetic energy of Warrior Two. Inner groin to inner knee, outer knee to outer hip pulls back, and now you press down and lift. Your hands can stay here, your arms can stay here. This leg is really not directly to the side. The hips are square, you're pushing into the foot and you're lifting and extending. Yeah. Vriksasana, bring it down. I will do the other side, and I have a little bit of refinement for you. As you press into the feet, lift the abdomen front of the body always lifts, the back of the body always descends. As you lift here, turn this leg to the side, grab hold, and press. You want to make sure that you don't lean this way out. So pull this outer thigh to the inner thigh and press the two parts together. If you push more into the pinky toe side of the foot, you'll feel this outer hip engage. So inner groin to inner knee, outer hip back. And now you're solid in that foundation. Push down with the bottom half, lift the ribs, extend the arms to whatever your level is without pulling the shoulders up. They can be here, they can be here, they can be here. Pushing down and lifting, engaging that outer hip to keep this knee back. There you go. Bring the knee down and come down. There you go. Those are our side-facing hip poses that we're going to do today. Hope you could see the similarities in some of those poses, because some of them have the same principles and you can transfer those from one pose to another.